The use of capital punishment is evident throughout a majority of all recorded history. Cultures of all eras have found value in having the death penalty as a significant part of their laws and societal function. The earliest death penalty laws to be found date as far back as the 18th century BC, where King Hammurabi of Babylon codified the death penalty for 25 different crimes. Several hundred years later, in the 7th century BC, Athens' Dracotian Code made death the only punishment for all crimes. Soon after, Roman law began to carry out death sentences by ways of crucifixion, drowning, beating, burning alive, and impalement. Much further along in Europe, in the days of the 10th century AD, hanging became the main way of execution. However, as the gruesome leader Henry VIII came along, execution drew back to the patterns of boiling, burning at the stake, beheading, and drawing and quartering. Some of these 72,000 executions occurred from offenses such as marrying a Jew, not confessing to a crime, and treason. As the Europeans discovered and settled in the New World of North America, the colonies began to form and adopt many laws of the Old World, including law regarding the death penalty. Large numbers of executions continued to occur throughout until reforms began to sprout in the early 1800s. As the early to mid-19th century came along, it brought about the abolitionist movement, which caused many states to rid their laws of the death penalty and turn to greater development in state penitentiaries. As the legal systems of the country have advanced, many states have come to believe that the death penalty should not be used as a viable punishment for any crime. However, many other states still find value in keeping it, as it is believed to be a necessary social measure. To this day, all sectors and levels of government continue to argue the idea of the existence of the death penalty within the laws and social structure of the country. The great amount of conflict that occurs regarding this highly significant social justice issue is due to the fact that there are two views in complete opposition. Either one supports the use of the death penalty for various crimes, or one opposes it. Many angles of argument are presented when speaking on the issue. However, a few in particular continue to stand out. Do the crimes of murder, rape, kidnapping, treason, larceny, or perjury allow for ending of a human life by the hands of another? This question of morality has less to do with whether those convicted of crime deserve to die, but rather whether the government deserves to kill them. Many abolitionists believe that the death penalty is immoral because governments should never take human life, no matter the crime. However, is this idea an article of fact or of faith? Just like all other punishment to crime, the goal of having the death penalty as part of the law is to deter these crimes. So, does the enforcement of capital punishment in fact do this? It may be true that the greatest fear of humanity is death. This idea should in turn cause for would-be criminals to consider these consequences when scheming for a crime such as murder. However, Philip J. Cook of Duke University performed significant studies on the death penalty in the state of North Carolina, which resulted in fairly inconclusive evidence about the death penalty's ability to reduce murder rate. When analyzing a law as significant as this, the financial aspects must absolutely be taken into account. Do trials involved with the death penalty cost more or less than trials where life without parole is the intended sentence? Dr. Gross of Creighton University found that the state of Nebraska spends $14.6 million per year to maintain its capital punishment system. Another study at Seattle University discovered that each death penalty case in the state of Washington cost an average of $1 million more than a similar case where the death penalty was not sought. Most other states which use the death penalty show similar statistics. Now, the question is whether this is money well spent or money that could be used for other purposes. Beyond these topics of argument regarding capital punishment are so many more which continue to be addressed. With all of them being considered, what is our country's current state on the issue, and where could we be headed? As of the year 2016, there are 20 states that do not have the death penalty, therefore making 30 states that still have it implemented into their laws. This means a majority of America remains in support of the use of the capital punishment. Along with this majority were the two candidates for the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. In recent years, New Mexico, Illinois, Connecticut, Maryland, and Nebraska have legislatively abolished the death penalty, replacing it with a sentence of life imprisonment with no possibility for parole. Although most states still include the death penalty in their laws, the number of executions over the past 15 years continues to decrease. Even though capital punishment seems to be declining, it remains in a majority of the United States law. Only the future will tell where America will stand on the death penalty. Now the question is, where do you?